Hey, welcome back everybody. Brand new van. What do you guys think of this? Haven't driven a Ram ProMaster before. I'm a Sprinter guy. But what do you guys think of all this? Actually, I didn't buy it. It's a spoiler, but I don't know if I would ever. It'd have to be a super good deal. There actually is one for like $15,000 with 200,000 miles, and it's a diesel one in Spokane. It's the longest one that they make. So for $15K, I could get a Ram ProMaster diesel model. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Mileage is high already. If it was like somewhere around 130, maybe 150, I would think about it. But I don't know much about those. And man, this is so loud in here. It's like driving in it's like being outside in a truck bed with an open window and everything. This is so loud compared to my van. This is incredible. Oh my gosh. No wonder. I don't know how you guys drive these, because if you insulate it like the way I insulate it with foam, with the foam panels, it's so much, it's like 90% more quieter. Wow. Anyways, I'll tell you guys about the load I was picking up. We originally were planning to give it to another driver that would come from Portland, pick it up, and then get it delivered. But here's the deal. They gave it to us a little later, which he can't make pickup time or delivery time. So I had to go out and actually rent a van and go in a rental van just to cover this thing, because we can't afford to book a load, get a load, and then, all of a sudden have to cancel it. No way. We're not doing that. We're not about cancels. So we'll go above and beyond, out of our way to get it done, and it's going to get done. So I'm doing this one myself, actually. Rented a van and doing it this way. And actually renting from Enterprise, we don't work with rental vans. So if you guys are planning to start your expediting career or whatnot, and are planning to like rent a van or lease a van, we don't work with rentals or leases. We only work with driver-owned vehicles. But sometimes, like at a breakdown or whatever, and we got to cover the load, it's okay to do once in a while to actually be able to rent one and finish up the trip, or get the job done. So it wasn't even too bad. $69 a day, 35 insurance. You get 24 hours to rent the van, and within that 24 hours, you get 300 miles that are covered by it. And if you go above the 300 miles, then it's 29 cents a mile. So for like long distance, it's really not worth it. But if you're doing, shorter stuff, then it could be worth it. Like to go to Montana somewhere and back, and do like 1,500 miles or 1,600 miles, it's definitely not worth it, because these loads don't really even pay that much. But, to do it this way, if you've got something somewhat local or regional and you're in a pinch, this definitely helps out. So I'm glad. Thank you, Enterprise. I'll show you guys the van. It's only a 12-foot cargo space. I've never even been in a short van. It only has 700 miles on this thing, so it's like a brand new van. Real nice. We'll see what kind of mileage I get out of this thing too. I got to clear all the stuff, and we'll see what kind of mileage we get on this bad boy. I wonder how many miles per gallon it gets on a shorty. I know they're newer. I know, while they're new, they don't really break down, but when they first came out and we were dealing with drivers and Rams, they did have some problems back then. Maybe they already worked them out. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll like this thing too much, and never know. Might even end up getting one. Who knows? It's like everything falls on one day. Mechanics over at my place, I forgot to put the battery on the charger to charge it up, and it's supposedly completely dead. I don't know how it went completely dead, but supposedly it's completely dead. There's my freight, a pallet and a tube is what it is. So this van fits it perfectly. It's not always a full van, but a lot of times it is the 16-foot carpet rolls that I do, and a lot of times it's like a whole van full of pad and or other carpet rolls, bigger, smaller, and it's a full van. So these little, 12-foot, 144-inch vans, I know a lot of you guys, drivers, do have these and drive them and want to buy these and do buy them. It's not always, not every day that we haul, bigger freight or whatnot. But when we do, it's always nice to actually have a bigger van. Plus insulated, because this is so loud that I got to put my iPhone headphones in just so I can cancel out the background noise. I'm not used to that. That is very loud. That's insane. We'll see what kind of MPG the new ProMaster has with 700 miles on it. So all that we'll get to be looking together with you guys. And you never know, maybe I'll fall in love with this van and pick up the longest one. I don't know. We'll see. Before, from the previous driver, it said something about 17 miles per gallon, which, I like my 20 plus on a Sprinter versus the 17, but when the Sprinter breaks down, those are the problems that you don't want to deal with, because they're so hard to pinpoint, and it's usually like one after the other, so it goes in a chain. Like on mine, I have a lot of things that have been replaced already and changed out, but something else. But the guy was using used parts to save me money too, so I don't know if it's a high pressure pump or what it is. Anyways, long story short. Made it to Wenatchee. Unstrapping my stuff, that way they can grab it quickly. They close at like 4:30, I don't know what time it is. Oh, 2:30 now, so we're good. I definitely made good timing. I'll tell you what, one thing about driving in this tin can, it's loud. It's loud. That's a big minus of not an insulated van, so you got to insulate your van. Second big minus, the MPG, and I reset it on the freeway just that way I can see the highway mileage. AC is not running, and let's look at trip A. 16.2, that's it. If I run AC, I'm sure it's going to drop back down to 15. So 16 is definitely not a great, for this little old van. It's only a 12-foot van, and mine is 16 foot and taller roof than this. This is not even the highest roof one. They call it a high roof, but this is not a highest roof. I think it's only like 68 from here to here, up to these things. So don't know, you know, so far my thoughts, I mean, it's a new van, something new for me, but driving it, and also since the engine is actually underneath the vehicle, that sucks too, because the feet don't rest, so you can't like stretch your feet out much in this van. As far as the steering wheel, it just goes up and down, or no, it goes in and out, but it doesn't go up and down much, so you can't really play with the steering wheel in your advantage. So that's a minus versus a Sprinter van. It's front wheel drive. Can't really say much about that, if it's good or bad, but hey, it is what it is. We'll do a quick special other video on everything else on it, like to show you guys my other thoughts and, you know, what my van has and what this van has different, and what my thoughts are. It's just my personal thoughts, you know what I mean? So we'll do a special video about that. But so far, this is the pallet of flooring, and then the tube. I don't know what's in the tube. It is what it is. I brought my own straps with me, some of them, since it doesn't have E-track. I had to use dinky, crappy straps. I call these crappy straps. A lot of you guys use these, but a lot of them will squish the boxes and all that. So if you use the little tiny ones, we actually had a load last week that a broker turned down because he wanted to see driver straps, and we sent him a picture of them, and he said, nope, those straps are not going to work. They're too thin. I mean, I know who I'm dealing with on this load, so we're good. But just so you guys know, you got to get some of those 2-inch wide straps, so they're more heavy duty ones. Otherwise, you know, more and more they're kind of cracking down on what drivers use, how they secure the freight and everything else. So, and another thing is that English-speaking drivers been having, how can I do this? There you go. Been having a lot of brokers ask lately, and make sure, and they put it in the notes too, and then ask again. So we get asked a few times, and can't book a driver that doesn't speak English on very, very many loads. Probably 80% of the loads that we do, they ask if the driver speaks English. Driver must read, understand, and speak, and sometimes even write good English. A lot of times at the mines, they make you take a test. They make you watch a video, take a test on safety, and some other facilities make you watch a video, then take a test. So English, I know this is an English speaking channel, but hey, you know, it is what it is. They're cracking down on the non-English ones. All right, Wenatchee. Lots of little shops downtown, tiny town. But I guess it's, you know, tiny, I guess, compared to, depends what you compare it to. Lots of little tiny little shops like this. Good for travelers, I guess, and local business. The weather here, it's good weather too. They do get snow, not so much of it, but they do get snow. And then besides that, they do have, you know, beautiful landscape around here. They got the big river, so lots of things to do out here. You can do your winter sports, you can do your summer sports, you can do your hunting and whatever else you got to do. I don't know, Wenatchee, huh? I guess if I would know Spanish better, I'd probably move here. I wouldn't mind living here, is what it is. I wouldn't mind living here. 2-hour parking. I'm gonna park right here. I send my paperwork to this broker real quick, because they had a customer who was upset customer anyways, that they weren't going to get their stuff today, but they got their stuff, so they're happy now.